is another gay horror pod with Stuart Ross and Jesse Tebbett. The moon landing was faked, or like how fucking the movie is about. It's crazy. Highly recommend it.
I'll definitely check it out.
With Eyes Wide Shut, there's a lot of people who now think that he was murdered while making that because he was getting too close to Epstein.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. He was also an old man who smoked his entire life. So I think he just died. But people don't let the facts get in the way of a good conspiracy theory.
Oh, wait.
Full disclosure, I have hit record. Hey guys. Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation with Ava LaShay. Now we're going to be talking about my favorite Friday the 13th movie. I think I fully committed after this rewatch. I think we're there. I'm hard launching my relationship with Friday the 13th Part 4. Which big. Is the movie we're talking about today. Ava, what's your relationship to Friday the 13th Part 4? Or the franchise in general?
Yeah, I mean, I when I was younger, I was not. I think it was like the franchise I was the least interested in.
Yeah.
But I think that had to do with cohesion, because again, like first movie, it's not even Jason. Second movie, he doesn't even have the mask that you come to like recognize, and then it's just also like I think the sequence. Aside from the first one, I would always get confused by the sequence. But when it got to the final chapter, I think for me, when I watched that, I think watching it as a kid and seeing another kid in such a pivotal role in the film, and it being Corey Feldman, who was just such a big part of all of our childhoods, I think that just made it a little bit easier to connect to.
Yeah.
I think for me. And so it was always my favorite of the films that I just felt probably like the most interested in. And now, like as an adult, I've rewatched all of them and I'm like, okay, you know what? I respect this franchise more than I felt I did when I was younger. But I still, again, the confusion of like, where the hell am I in order?
Yeah.
But that one, I'm always just like, I don't care where it's sitting.
We're here.
I thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah.
I feel like the Friday the 13th franchise, and I've probably said this before, it never reaches the highs of A Nightmare on Elm Street or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Halloween. But because of that, comparatively, it doesn't feel like it has as many lows. When you're going from Friday the 13th 2 or 4, which are probably the best, to like Jason Takes Manhattan, it's not as big of a fall from like Halloween to Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, the bar isn't very high for this series. Yeah.
And I think that makes it easier. Like, I mean, there's a Pluto TV channel that's always just playing Friday the 13th movies, and I will just put anyone on and I'll have fun.
Yeah. I think, this movie is more methodically paced than the previous, than any maybe other one in the series. But Ava, what you were saying, like Corey Feldman was like really popular at the time and also like incredibly talented in this movie.
Insanely.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, I might be wrong about this, but for most of the movie, like there's like a kind of like almost like a not whodunit, but like mystery element to Jason, where there was more than one time where I was like, wait, is this like not Jason? Is this someone else in the cast who maybe like got a mask of Tommy's? Or because I mean, famously, like the first movie, Jason's mom is the killer, right? So like why would they not replicate that for this iteration? So I think this movie has a lot going for it.
Yeah, and this is, I can sort of get into some fun facts about it from here, but this was directed by Joseph Zito, who also directed The Prowler, which is another sort of in the My Bloody Valentine camp of like one-off slasher movies from the 80s that are definitely canon. And he worked on that movie with Tom Savini, who did the special effects for Friday the 13th Part 1 and The Burning and Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, just like an
Classics.
icon in special effects. And he brought him on to this to do the special effects. And as part of it, it was because he created the original Jason. He joked that now he was going to get to kill Jason.
Yeah.
But the Mancusos who were producing this franchise had a lot of very strict rules, especially in the early ones, of what you could and couldn't do. So the reason especially 2, 3, and 4 all feel very similar is because it was a mandate. They wanted it to be the same because they wanted you to go see a Friday the 13th movie and get the same experience you already enjoyed. But Joseph, including the Jarvis family and Tommy in particular, that was how he broke out of it, because he was able to have a different point of view, a different perspective on Jason. And especially with Corey Feldman performing, it really, I think, just grounds the movie in a different way.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison to 3, which is just so kind of every character so arch, and you're not really getting any like deep characterizations. In this, the relationship between Tommy and his sister really ground the movie in a different way. This movie was originally supposed to come out in October, but when they started to see the dailies, they rushed through post-production and it came out April.
Wait, because they were happy with what they were seeing?
They were so happy with it that they wanted to get it out in theaters earlier.
Whoa.
But it finished filming, I think, in January and was out in April the same year.
But wouldn't they think that releasing it in October would be a better marketing move because it's Halloween? Or no?
I think they just wanted the money.
I see.
Yeah.
This was at the time Paramount's highest grossing opening weekend ever.
Whoa.
And I don't know if it was like back then, if it was like the same thing as like now, but like now it is sometimes riskier to release something in like October because they're always trying to squeeze so much into October and November.
Yeah, that's
so I
true.
think that's why, like, you know, certain films, like even Scream, they've always aimed for like February to April, and
that's so true because the schedule is clear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, this
is good for Friday the 13th Part 4.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it worked. It's not everyone's favorite movie. It sort of oscillates between 2 and 4. But for me, this rewatch, especially because we've been slowly rewatching through the franchise, I was like, 4 really is like, for me, the ideal of what a Friday the 13th can be.
Yeah, it doesn't really get supernatural until
6.
F6. Okay.
Yeah. Which I love Zombie Jason.
Technically, it is supernatural already, right? Because he's like come back to life and like whatever.
He was never really dead. He was never dead.
Yeah. So it's already supernatural, but not quite the highs of what we get. Yeah.
Not the Frankenstein style resurrection at the beginning of 6.
The lightning, the pole,
the drama.
6 is my favorite. I love 6.
6 is great. Yeah,
6 is really good.
This is sort of, it's like, I think Star Trek's, it's the even ones are good and the odd ones are bad. This franchise sort of has a similar thing where it's like they're never like truly bad, but like especially 2, 4, and 6 are so good.
Yeah.
And then really my theory falls apart when you get to Jason Takes Manhattan, which is the 8th.
I've actually never seen Jason Takes Manhattan.
So the funny thing is Jason Takes Manhattan looks so good.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching it, you're like, wow, they just used to make movies on film and they used to always look good.
Did they film it in New York City?
Barely.
Okay.
Yeah, barely. Yeah, there's like a funny story for that one too, of like, because Kane Hodder at that point was Jason, and it was, I want to say, the scene like with the speaker, like, or the speaker. My goodness, my brain.
Narrator? No.
The boombox. The boombox.
Yes. Yeah.
My goodness, my memory, my brain. See, this is the one downside of the sleep deprivation.
I was gonna say, this is the 4 hours of sleep catching up.
The 4 hours of sleep. But the boombox and everything. Well, I guess like Kane Hodder was on set, and at one point he was just kind of like off, away from other people. He was kind of by himself, and he said this guy came up across the street and just kind of kept like looking at him, and he was just like finally kind of came up. He's like, are you with the movie? And he's fully dressed as Jason, and he said he was bored, so he just didn't say anything. The guy and just kind of stared at him, and the guy came up and he was just like, are you with the movie? And he just didn't. Then he kind of like looked, like did his head like this, and he said the guy ran off. And later he was told, oh, by the way, like there's like a local officer who, you know, we told he can come to set and like and observe and everything like that. And then if anybody sees him, we haven't seen him. He hasn't shown up. And we found out it was that guy. Just got the hell out of this officer. And he ran off. You know, I think I like a lot of the stories behind Manhattan, and I don't necessarily hate the film because there's a lot of interesting, but so much cheese. It's so cheesy.
It's a wild movie, but it's also anytime it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah, and also the idea of plucking Jason out of a camp atmosphere and plugging him into a massive metropolitan area is very funny.
And they kind of they explain it in an interesting way. Like he is in Crystal Lake at the beginning, and then he like just ends up like on a boat that just kind of starts coasting off. But I was like, you know what? That made more sense than him ending up in space and cryo.
Yeah. And who are we to, call out like geography?
Vacation.
I'm not gonna limit a sister. If Jason wants to go to Manhattan, she can.
She had to broaden her horizons.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta wait for people to come to camp.
Yeah. Listen, it's also like who's coming to this camp consistently years and years knowing that it has a reputation for people dying. Like,
Not even like just the years and years, because some of the plot, including in final chapter, the timeline gets very skewed.
Yeah, that would be great if we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, and this is technically the third movie in a row that takes place the next day. So we're not actually Friday the 13th. We're Sunday the 15th.
Friday the 13th, Sunday the 15th.
Yes. Because this is basically from 2 to 4, a long weekend. Which I love.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We start with our previously on segment, which I do always appreciate, that Friday the 13th will tell you exactly what happened previously. This was interesting because it's the scene from part 2 around the campfire where he's telling about Jason and all of the stuff, but you see flashes of different victims, and you see flashes of not only victims from part 3, which is technically after, but the woman sitting next to him, you see a flash of her own death. And so it's like, well, he's not actually, like, this is not concurrent.
Yeah.
But I do, and then we get the beautiful exploding Friday the 13th final chapter logo.
Yes. Yeah. They really put their whole pusses into that, and then the actual opening credits with the names and everything. They're like, whatever, it's fine.
What if white text on black background?
Yeah. I think they did that for 3 too, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, 3 has the 3D.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Can I just say, I think movies that choose to do something creative with credits are already like a win. They've got a leg up, because I'm like, it's like establishing tone, atmosphere. I love it. I'm like, more movies should have fun with their credits.
Well, and it is also one of those things that I think this movie, and they're running the clock out as much as possible to try to make the movie long enough.
That's true.
Like, they could have done the logo and then just had the credits over the opening scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
why didn't they? You're so right.
Yeah, no, they're trying to hit their 90-minute runtime, but
that's so fucking crazy.
And I think they were good with this one, but I think that was like the smartest thing you could have done with a movie at that time, especially a slasher. In the 80s, whenever they had the text over like a scene, because they used to butcher people's names, like they used to misspell them constantly.
Oh my god!
And I didn't even realize. I watched like Sleepaway Camp with Felissa Rose, and I had never realized how many mistakes they had made until she was literally pointing them out. I was just like, this is too funny.
My god! Well, I mean, there wasn't. I mean, in their defense, I guess there wasn't like the internet to be like, how do I double check? They were just like, guess this is fine.
Well, and I'm still here with the internet making mistakes. So
yeah,
in their defense, we're still not doing great.
Yeah, we haven't come very far.
This opening shot, once we're through the credits, we're back at Higgins' hideaway from part 3, and we have a helicopter. We have a crane Steadicam combination where we have a Steadicam operator on a crane coming down from the helicopter down over Higgins' hideaway. He gets off. He walks over all the way over to see Jason's in the barn from part 3.
Yeah,
and I was like, it must have been the most expensive shot in the whole movie
for sure. CSI : Friday the 13th. Yeah.
And then we go to the morgue, which is
the horniest mortician of all time.
Something about hospital morgue workers in 80s slasher movies.
Oh, right.
They're pumping something into that oxygen, and it's Viagra.
I mean, Halloween 2, I was like, why is there a whole I know I get the tub was meant for therapy, but I was just like, they are fully just
it doesn't
feel sanitary.
Sanitary. And I'm like, y'all aren't watching the patients at all.
No, this made me think, you guys, have you heard I feel like someone told me one time that morticians, because this guy, would you consider him he's not a mortician? Is he a mortician?
No, he's a morgue
Pathologist?
worker.
Morgue worker.
Because a mortician is the one that prepares for burial.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Morgue workers. Someone told me that men, like, it's advised to not hire men as morgue workers.
Yeah.
Because historically they've been known to fool around with the bodies.
Which is why we shouldn't men.
That's fucking
just in general.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And guess what? This movie reassures that theory because he's like that notion because he's like, oh yeah, there's a body over there. She was looking pretty hot. And they were like what?
Girl.
And they've played with that in several movies too.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like
yeah.
Several other horror films because they're like, well, it's real horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, this is a
real
actually
horror
documentary. So
well, and that guy Axel, he after that still gets a woman who wants to make out with him.
Yeah, she's all in.
Nurse Morgan, and so she's named another additional fun fact. She's Nurse R. Morgan, and she's named after one of the first victims, the actress who played her in Friday the 13th Part 1 was Robbie Morgan.
Oh, fun.
So,
okay, cool.
Additional bonus fun fact.
Fun, and we get the obnoxious jazzercise on the TV.
That video is crazy.
It is crazy.
You know that the Friday the 13th remake that they had done with like Jared Padalecki, Daniel Panabaker,
new line
that brought me back to like him with like that Home and Garden magazine.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I mean, the writing in that movie, visually, that movie was great. The writing in that movie was atrocious.
Yes. Yeah.
Stupendous breasts. But but it was like the Home and Garden magazine. I think the jazzercising moment like took me to that because it's just kind of like the most absurd thing a weird dude could.
Yes. Well, and they're toggling. They're toggling between. I mean, he's like you said, Stuart. They're pumping Viagra into the air.
Yeah, these people are horny.
They're oscillating between
formaldehyde.
I get it. They're oscillating between that and the news, which is murder.
Yeah.
So sex and death.
I do think this might be the horniest Friday the 13th movie. Everyone is horny.
Yeah. I mean, Crispin Glover later says, I'm horny.
And you know what?
In front of everyone.
Good for him.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I'm horny.
Yes. I think the not enough people. How do I say this? The word horny isn't vocalized much these days.
No.
I'm not saying it should be.
I'm saying it should be.
I think the word horny has really fallen off.
Yeah.
You know?
And now everyone's just saying H word.
Yeah. We got to bring back. It was like Moose T's Horny 98 track and Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I'm horny, baby.
Yes.
I went to a 60s themed birthday party last night and they were playing Austin Powers in the background.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I love this.
Wait, how has that not been either rebooted or like sequeled? I
think we're just leaving it in its place.
Okay. I'm not saying it should be, but I'm like, it's surprising to me.
I'm like, because I think Mike Myers owns the whole thing.
I see.
And so I think for him, it's just like post Love Guru, he's not risking anything.
Yeah.
Can I just say Goldmember was like a cultural reset for me personally. I remember seeing Beyonce like on skates and I was like, oh my God. Like,
Nathan Lane, I'm using this cat as a distraction.
I'm definitely gay.
Yeah, I was like,
watching Beyonce roller skate, you were like, well, I'm definitely into that, but not in the way I should.
Not in the way. Not in the way.
But honestly, the parallels between Austin Powers and Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I mean, you've got twins.
Yep,
twins.
Yes,
you've got horny all over the place.
Yes.
So horny.
Yes, parallels.
Yeah, Stuart, you're right. This might be the horniest, at least the ones that we've watched. This
I
is
think
probably
so.
The horniest. Yeah,
which is also funny because there is just a child in this movie. Just a full child.
Wait, also question. Is Jason against murdering kids? Do we know where he stands?
Seems like
murder?
Towards the end, it seems like he wants to.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
I mean, and then he's always like gone for animals. So I just feel like nothing is safe.
Off limits. Yeah, that's true.
Nothing's off limits.
Yeah, him and Michael Myers will kill a dog.
I didn't know if he has a code or not. I'm like trying to remember back to Freddy versus Jason, and I'm like the movie made us root for Jason, and I can't remember really why.
Because Freddy Krueger's a child rapist.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just think it's because we were still in like with the 80s, it was still more rare to see a child like die in these
Yeah,
films.
True.
You know, I think that's why like even like I think going and watching like it, you know, and then it was like
Yeah.
Georgie's thing was so glazed over versus the remake they did. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, they
Yeah.
went for
Yo,
it,
Brutal.
you
they
know.
killed that kid
They
in 2019 or
Yeah.
They
2017.
did. It was wild. But I think
Yeah.
that's the thing is like in the 80s, it was still more rare. So I think the times it did happen, like the shock value
Yeah.
Yeah.
was definitely
Like Pet
more.
Cemetery.
Pet
Oh my
Cemetery. Oh,
god.
Even I
I
was
just met Gage. I did. Because he is I love he's
Oh.
the sweetest person ever.
Oh my god. What a meet. Like
Yeah.
he's an
Yeah.
icon.
Is he in
Oh,
he's in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies maybe?
the New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, New
That's right.
Nightmare.
Yes. Yeah.
He was in Kindergarten Cop. So like I grew up like
Oh
just
yeah.
right along watching his movies. So then he was in
Yes.
person. He's like the cutest person. I was just like I
Yeah.
was there with my partner. Obviously, we were working, and I was just like, babe, this is a beautiful human
Oh,
being, and
Yeah,
just so
this
cute.
might
I actually just messaged him. I said happy birthday, and he's like, thank you.
oh
yeah.
my
Really cool
god.
guy.
Oh, that's so wonderful. God, he's so good in Pet Cemetery. A
Yeah.
terrifying movie.
I also every year when I watch it, I cannot stop thinking about how cunty his outfit is. He's wearing like a velvet little
Yes.
dress. And
Yes. So
My god. And that voice. I can't even do it. It's like,
that laugh.
yes.
yeah.
I can't.
It
I'm not
is
gonna
like, and
try.
like it's sort of the same
Sorry.
thing with Corey Feldman in this, where it's like when a kid actor is on it, they're on it.
Yeah.
And it's like
And you're a
it's
harsh
kind
judge of kid
freaky.
actors, you know?
Yeah, I hate kid actors.
Famously Ava.
I don't like
Stewart's not a-
children.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna give them jobs, like put them in a coal mine. I don't want them in my movies.
Oh yeah, but if you're gonna put him in horror, like there's nothing more than like a stiff, like any, not even just a kid actor, but any actor, like a stiff
Yeah.
actor in those things. So when you have
Yeah.
a kid actor that's really taking it there, oh, I'm blanking on her name, but she was just in Stranger Things and she did Evil Dead Rise.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Oh my god,
Yeah.
she was
So
so
good.
good. Yeah.
So good.
We
So
just
it's
covered
like,
Evil
when
Dead
you-
Rise. Yeah.
Well, and even
She's
I just watched. We were talking about it before we came online, but I just watched Annabelle Creation yesterday, and that
Mm.
is full of really good kid actors, and also has a Pet Cemetery reference because the
Yeah.
daughter dies
Oh.
by getting hit by a car,
Yeah,
and I was
That's
just like,
right.
"Fuck this!" Like
That's
this
that
right.
is the best.
and I
Annabelle movie.
forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
You know who was
Yeah.
great? The kid from Weapons.
Yes, the little
the
boy.
little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was really
I
good.
mean, if he was gonna lose to anyone that award, it had to be the dog from Good Boy, and
Yeah.
that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
Which I still haven't seen. I need to
Oh,
watch
it's
it.
cute.
It's
It's
on. You can watch it.
AMC.
Yeah.
Shutter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have my AMC, so you
I do.
You can watch
Thank
it.
you. Thank you very much.
We get our first victims. Axel and Morgan and Nurse Morgan are making out.
Mhm.
Jason's hand falls off the slab, scares her away, which is the correct response when you're making out with someone and a dead person's hand touches you. And then Axel's freak out is so funny. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ, shit, what the fuck, Jesus. It's just like, I'm like, yeah, you're making out with a woman next to a dead body. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
not fresh.
Yeah,
You
and
guys,
then but he moves on fast. He is back to watching that jazzercising video pretty
Yeah.
fast. Yeah,
the Viagra's got him in
Yes.
its grasp. He's the horniest person that's ever lived, for sure.
And he doesn't have long to live because Jason cuts in with a bone saw and then turns his neck completely around.
I know. I love that. It was
It's a good
such
kill,
a quick
yeah.
edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great kill.
And it is like being back in the warm, comforting hands of Tom Savini's special effects.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, and this was like, I think Kevin Yeager, who created Chucky, this is one of his first special effects jobs.
Oh.
So it was like a good crew of just like everyone was working on all cylinders, and it feels like because they thought it might be the last one, they really wanted to go out on a high.
Wow.
Like all the prosthetics, all the special effects are so good in this.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just I don't know, I miss like classic effects movies.
It's hard to watch things when, like, sometimes they nail it and it's
Yeah.
fine, but it's just like I don't know, the passion that goes into, even when they were stressing and rushing to get
Yeah.
something done, the passion that went into it just makes seeing practical effects so much more exciting, especially in these scenes, or like even stunts, stuntmen, like the stunt crew just they just did it,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ava, I have a question. I'm curious. What's the last horror movie that you watched that you were taken aback by the practical effects? You were shook.
Ooh, like in a bad way or a good
No, I
way?
think a good way. They
Like
made a
just
good
in a good way?
impression. Yeah.
You know what? Um, I don't think it was like so much like on practical effects in the big scheme of things, but I really, really loved the fact that they pulled a stunt woman out of retirement to do Final Destination.
Yes.
I thought that was the
Oh.
coolest thing
They
ever
lit
because I
that
think
old lady on fire.
they lit her on fire, and I think she's like technically the oldest now like stunt person to do something like that in a film. And I was like, that is so sickening. Like that's just because you
Dude.
never lose it. Like that's something
No.
you were clearly passionate about. So to be like, oh yeah, I came in and and I prayed that she has kids and grandkids that can be like, my grandma was on fire in that movie.
I think she's from a stunt family.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I think one of her kids was doing like maybe a stunt coordinator or assistant coordinator on that movie, and that's how they connected with her.
That'll do it.
It is like because I do work I work in film, and a lot of my job is usually SAG contracts, which involves a lot of direct communication with stunt people. And there is nothing better than when a stunt guy comes to my office and I can just be like, what's like your favorite job? Like what's the coolest thing you've ever done? Like, and like you can often just get into these like 45-minute conversations with these people who it's sort of the same way that like Tom Savini talks about special effects. Stunt people, it is a calling. And they really love doing it, and it's like an adrenaline thing, and it's like the safest way you can be an Evil Knievel.
And they're the sweetest, most down to earth people.
Yeah, and what an incredible legacy, that Final Destination Bloodlines fucking rules.
So good.
Oh, so good. This was such a strong 2025 was such a strong year for horror.
It truly was.
Yeah.
I think my top 3, definitely my top 5 movies, there were at least 3 horror movies. Sinners, Final Destination Bloodlines, and what was 3?
Weapons.
I think I had Weapons up there.
But it is like, I mean, it was a year where we had Clown in the Cornfield I really liked, Dangerous Animals, not to just talk about Shudder original movies, but A Good Boy.
Jai Courtney. I'm okay.
Fuck,
I'm okay.
He was so hot.
I'm not okay. I'm glad you're okay, because I'm not okay.
I'm unwell. And also, do you know who else is unwell? Nurse Morgan. Because she dies next.
she's down bad.
Literally. That was a transition.
That was seamless.
Bravo, sister.
And she's like restocking medicine, and he comes in and stabs her up against a wall, and and it's not as good of a death as Axel, but you also don't want to watch. You don't care to watch her die. You want him to die violently, but she can just die.
The cuts are pretty quick, and and as such you feel there's like kind of a visceral, like they don't drag on. I guess
I do think because this one is the second one in a row where we sort of have the like almost cold open death scenes that are unrelated from the main plot of the movie, but at least they are connected through the body of Jason going there. Right. So it's not like, oh, we're just a random grocery people down the street, and the body and he just wanders on. It's like they took his body, and then we get the sort of 10-minute scene where he's killing these people, and it's it's good, and it gets us into the movie.
It gets us in.
Yeah, we meet.
And we're in.
We meet Tommy, Trish, and Mrs. Jarvis. A very fitness-minded family. I feel like Mrs. Jarvis is always coming from a jog.
Yeah,
and on the jog, did I make this up, or she was like, her daughter was like saying something about like having sex or something with her mom, like not with her mom, but she and her mom were talking, and she was like, I've been horny, and I was like, What?
Everyone in this movie is horny because this small
Everyone
town,
is horny.
they dropped Viagra into the water supply.
I was just like, what? Like, why are you saying this to your mom, girl?
Running will also do that to you.
It's
you
the
know?
endorphins.
Yeah, and the mom was
Famously-
in that hot tracksuit, or
Yeah.
all
Yes.
three of the tracksuits she wore in the movie.
Famously, running an aphrodisiac. Famously. Yeah.
Which is why I
yes.
don't run.
I'm sure.
That's why, not my
I
knees.
save all
Yeah.
of my running for when I'm being chased by
Yes. Smart.
slasher.
Yeah, because
Smart.
there's only so much cardio you can do, and
Only
you
so
want it
much.
to be
Yeah.
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 I want to be panting and out of breath, so I have justification for why I'm like when
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide behind
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Smart.
We meet Tommy and see off his masks.
Yes, they're so impressive.
A lot of masks.
Yeah.
A lot of masks.
So this was the work of presumably Tom Savini.
It was another person on his team.
Okay.
It was all of his masks that he had.
And it was supposed to be a nod to his childhood.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, there's a reason Tommy is named Tommy.
Mhm.
Tommy Savini.
All three of them with T names.
T.
Oh,
Tommy
oh
Trish.
my
They're all
God.
TJs. They're all
Yeah.
TJs.
Friday the 13th Part 4 layered
Yeah.
like Easter
Yes.
eggs.
Different.
Wow.
It works on every level.
It works on so many
Yes.
levels. That's so cool.
We now cut over and meet our crew of sort of disposable children, teenagers. Paul, Sam, a couple. They're boring. Sarah, who is a virgin. Doug, who I don't have a character trait for Doug. He just is there to die. And Jimmy and Ted, who are very horny.
Yes.
Jimmy is played by a young Crispin Glover in one of his first appearances.
So cute.
He's so good in this. I'm gonna say it, hot in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
something
love
about a
the creepy
nerdy
thin
guy
man.
being horny. Yeah,
Yes.
the way he
Yes.
dances.
He's hot, but he's also like a little bitch. Like the way he
Yeah.
like talk. I don't know. The way he's like, I need to get late, and then later in the movie, he is talking about being sort of envious of. I can't remember what the other guy's name is, but he's
Ted.
like, or is it Ted? He's like, you got the hot one, like in front of.
Ooh.
In front
Oh
of
yeah.
what's
In front of her
face?
twin.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
And
I'm
I
gonna
was
say
like-
it. Both twins are hot because they're identical twins.
Identical twins. Like, come on now. I'm like, do
Yeah.
you mean hot as in hot to go?
Yes.
HOTTOGO? Like,
right. Yeah, but yeah, Crispin Glover, nerdy and hot in this, and Ted, maybe nerdy,
Nerdy
and
and
hot,
less
but
hot.
also definitely weird. His
Yeah.
computer, not sure what was
I
going
love
on there.
that. I love. Yeah, my brain computer has determined that you're a dead fuck. It also these two on this reading felt gay to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Where I
You
was
know.
like, you know what, maybe.
if my toxic trait is, I would have gone for Ted.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too. Actually, Fuck.
That's my
God.
toxic. I think because he was cute and he was
Yeah.
like kind of a jerk, like in a way, but he was funny. That I think
Yeah.
I would just been like, I can fix him.
Yeah. Also, like a nice little body. Like he's got.
Yeah.
I mean, he strips down right and
and when he's ready to take those clothes off too.
jumps in that water, tight
Yeah.
little butt. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, there is a lot of like boy butt in this movie.
I know.
Mhm.
Thank God. Well, boy
And-
butt sounds
80s.
weird.
Lots of
Man
Oh yeah,
butt.
that yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
plus boy.
18 plus butt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 18 plus butt in this movie.
I hate the word man. I don't know. Like I just don't want to say
Well,
it. It's
boy butt is a little. It's an
but also
alliteration. It's a little catchier.
none of these guys are men to me. They're like
right.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all
They're
teens and
guy
they're
butt.
like
Guy
yeah.
butt.
Yeah,
Guy
they're
butt.
boy parentheses 18 plus. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But if I agree, Ted would. I would. Yeah, we would probably.
Yeah,
we would have
That's-
fun.
Yeah.
So they pass by Pamela Voorhees' gravestone,
Yes.
which does say that she died in 1979. Even though the movie came out in 1980. So in the universe of this movie, the first movie actually takes place on Thursday the 13th, not Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But that's just me splitting hairs. And then we also meet Banana Hitchhiker, our
my
next
God.
victim.
Gone too
Um,
soon.
Yeah, and she's hitchhiking. They pass her by, and then Jason comes behind her and stabs her with a knife through the throat.
Yeah. I feel like she has
squeezes that
Mid banana.
She has
Yeah.
mid banana and it's falling out of her mouth, which
Yeah.
was relatable. But question, she had a sign. Didn't she have a sign that said like, it was like Canada? It was like
It was like peace, love in Canada or something.
Peace,
and
love
then
in
when
Canada,
they drove,
and then she flips off the.
yes,
and the back of the sign says "fuck you."
fuck you, yeah.
Smart.
I also noted here that the Jason in this movie has more of a personality than part 3. He's
really?
really grunty.
Yeah.
Which I think part 3 was a little bit more of a like silent killer.
Like silent
and
but deadly.
This Jason is like, I'm making noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Yeah, he was played by
Interesting.
actor Ted White, who did not want to be credited in this movie. He just wanted to get paid.
Yep.
And
Fuck
he
yeah.
and
More of that.
he and Corey Feldman did not get along. He didn't like Corey Feldman.
What?
I was watching an interview where he was like, he was an asshole, and I was like, he was a child.
Well, let's wait a minute. What had Corey Feldman been in before this?
That's
had
a good
made him
question,
a
actually.
I think he
staple?
was straddling Goonies at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because he
by-
really
yeah.
wanted to do this film, so he asked them if he could make it work. So he straddled the two films.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was it was Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does he was the young copper in The Fox and the Hound.
Yes.
And then he did Friday the 13th, the final chapter was his first major movie.
Okay.
Gremlins, he appears in the next Friday the 13th briefly.
Okay.
Goonies, Stand By Me, Lost Boys, License to Drive, he just
What a
goes
run.
on like an all-timer run of movies through the rest
Yeah.
of the 80s, starting here.
Yeah. But not getting along with Corey Feldman, who's
It's really funny.
what, 13 in this movie?
Yeah.
That's
I love a
pretty
50-year-old stuntman. That's actually, I'm going to say it, gay coded.
Very.
Don't say that.
A full adult man
No.
feuding with a child.
You know what though?
That's true,
This is
actually.
like I think it's very much a like a bear situation. I want like a gay bear situation because my drag daughter Rosie Petals, she's like, I can't stand children. I don't like. She's like, I understand. Like I look like a giant Cabbage Patch doll with a beard. I'm very marketed to them, but I don't want to be anywhere
Get
near
away from
them.
me.
Yeah, they
Right.
terrify me, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Honestly,
that's-
T.
yeah, in that sense, it is gay coded. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Well, I just think gay people will find the feud where it is, regardless of age. Like when my enemy finds me, it's like love at first sight, but hate. And it doesn't matter if you're my direct superior. It doesn't matter if you're an important Hollywood producer. If I hate your vibe, I hate your vibe.
That's actually so true.
I respect that. I do
Yeah.
because you know what? I have Avery and like my mother love to watch like cooking channel stuff and baking stuff, and I enjoy it to a degree, but they can watch it like all day, and I don't have like I'm not that invested. But
No.
they'll watch like the children like bake championships,
Yeah.
and I will read the hell out of these kids. Like if they say something outlandish, I'm just like dragging them, like, and not
Yes.
to be mean, but I just start dragging these kids
Yes.
watching it, and Avery's just like, oh my god, this is
Yes.
brutal, and I'm just like,
Yes.
somebody
is-
needs to tell them.
It is funny.
Yes.
When I used to cast reality shows, and I did Top Chef Junior,
I didn't know that.
and the kids were really cool. But I also the whole time I kept being like, "Wow, all these kids are like way better at cooking than I am. This is embarrassing.
There's a reason they're on the show.
These small
Yeah.
children, I can't even do this, and they can do that. What the?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
probably where my me reading them comes from.
Yeah, it's
truly.
jealousy.
It's jealousy. It really is.
Wow.
So we get I think we're at the skinny dipping, I would say.
Yes.
Our group of teens, which is already too many people, acquires two more people when they
Mhm.
meet the twins, who are Tina and Terry, maybe.
Yeah.
TNT. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote
TNT,
twins.
more T's.
I wrote twins a lot.
Yeah. Truly, they
because-
come out from
Nowhere.
nowhere.
Yeah, two
And
The
they're
water?
sets of
also
titties.
they're going in the wrong direction to where everyone else is going, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we're going to the lake too."
Yeah.
I'm like, but
Yeah.
that's not the direction everyone's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
But
on their bikes.
we get
Also,
some.
Well, the implication, sorry, Stuart, just really quickly. The
Yeah.
implication is that this is kind of like in the middle of nowhere, because I think someone says to the Jarvises like something about like this being like far in the woods and like not many people live up here. And Nancy Jarvis is like, well, we do.
Well,
and
there's also like 3 summer camps around here, and there's
that's
Higgins
true.
Hideaway. It's like the smallest lake ever, but there's a population of like 50,000 people.
Well, and that's the thing too, is it's like, okay, he's coming back. He's coming back from the hospital, but he just killed multiple people.
Yeah.
Like the day before. And y'all are just still out in the woods and just vibing and just
I'm like, shit. It was the 80s.
Yeah, it was.
Well, they were just trying to get laid.
We also, after the skinny dipping scene, not to hop ahead, we meet Rob, who is looking for his sister Sandra, who was killed in Friday the 13th Part 2. But in the timeline of this movie, she's been missing for 48 hours.
I mean, listen, that's valid. And this is a very Jared Padalecki coded character from the remake.
Yes. And also, like, he would have probably not even got the phone call by then.
No, that's the thing where it's like, how does he know she's gone? Like, I don't know. Like, still to this day, I go 48 hours with hearing from my siblings, and we have cell phones.
Because at least with Jared Padalecki in the remake, it was months.
Yeah, it was months. Yes.
But these 3 movies are sort of having their cake and eating it too, where it's the next day, but it feels like it's a sliding scale of what the next day could be. It's the next day, but it's also 6 months later.
Yes.
We get a lot of Tommy Jarvis seeing sex and nudity, which that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because he is, despite his feud with the Jason actor, a child.
Yeah, and this movie is kind of has like a lot of awakenings for, not a lot, but several awakenings for him. He sees a lot of sex. He sees murder. He kills someone. And then in the end, we, not jumping really ahead, but we
to the end,
like we sort of are told that he could be scarred forever and he might be a killer.
And he's bald.
And he's bald.
And he's bald. Chopped bald.
Yeah, pick a struggle.
Chopped. He's chopped. Yeah.
I do love, I think Trixie Mattel posted a picture on Twitter of young Tommy and said, "Stop sending me this picture."
Makes sense.
Not me. Location note, the skinny dipping was filmed at Zaca Lake in Santa Barbara, which is why it does feel like a real lake, unlike Part 3, which was just like they dug into a hole and just put some water in it and we're like, that's the lake, don't worry about it. This was a real lake. The skinny dipping scene later was shot at the Hollywood Reservoir. So
that feels dirty as hell.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to, as an actor in the 80s, I don't think I'd want to be in water anywhere within like 100 miles of LA.
Well, once again, it's probably like, it was the 80s. They probably were like, whatever.
They didn't know water back then.
Yeah.
There's a reason why a lot of those actors like didn't act much beyond those projects, though.
Because they swam in LA water.
They got sick. It was Aaron Brockovich up in there.
Oh
my God. Aaron Brockovich needs to make her way to Camp Crystal Lake and do some tests.
She would read the hell out of Jason. That's all you got, a machete and fucking ugly shoes.
Yes.
Aaron Brockovich versus Jason.
Yeah, she said, get your ass to court. We are going to court.
Yeah.
I'm
Julia
suing
Roberts
you. Class action.
She said, they're called boobs, Jason.
Yes.
And then Tommy Jarvis goes, Zumbas, or whatever he calls boobs.
Oh my God. Yeah. What?
Oh my goodness.
My next note is Crispin Glover dancing.
Yes. Which, very awkward.
Yeah. And he says
was Britney Spears with the knives.
He says that this is how he used to dance at clubs in Hollywood. I believe him.
Yeah, who might have not believed that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah, he can't dance very well. But you know what? He's cute, so.
Yeah, and I just love that people were like, oh yeah, but that wasn't the original song. But I'm like, if you played the original song he was actually dancing to, it still wasn't.
It still doesn't make sense.
It still didn't make sense.
And then he's dancing with one of the twins, and then they turn on slow music, and then he starts dancing with the other twin.
Yeah,
I cannot tell the twins apart. It's
understandable. At this point, is Ted. Is he watching? Have we got the shots of him watching the like
Not yet.
dirty old
The
movies.
retro erotica.
Yeah, the Pearl movie.
Yes.
The Pearl movies.
Pearl ass porn.
Yeah.
Is that why you texted me this morning that you wanted to watch Pearl nonstop?
Yes.
It's all connected. You texted
Yeah.
out of the blue. Jesse texted me this morning and was like, "I have something to tell you. I want to watch Pearl all the time." And I was like, "I've never once worried about
Pearl.
that."
I mean, you know,
But now I get it.
if Corn Sweet was in those videos, I would probably had watched them too. I just remember seeing those. Like, do you remember what was the show? There was like an HBO or like there was like HBO and Showtime shows in the early 2000s.
Like Real Sex.
Real Sex and
Yes,
stuff,
Cat
and they
House.
would have those Cat House, Gigolos. There
Oh
were
my
so
God.
many
My teenage
things
self was
we
like-
shouldn't have been.
Gen Z doesn't know what we went through.
They do
Oh,
not know.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't have to get into that actually.
I actually think we
I was
have
in
to
like
get
pain,
into it.
like being like, should I like pay for this and like I don't know, like say that I accidentally hit it? Like, oh my God, like it.
Well, that was-
We just had it, but it was like if it was on late, I was like, well, I was awake.
yeah. Cat
We would
House.
always get like the HBO and Showtime free preview weekends. And it would just be me like, what's happening on Real Sex this month?
It was so funny though because it was so camp, and then they have the weird things like the penis puppetry and stuff. But they did have
Yes.
like the vintage porn thing, and I was
Yes.
just like, this looks so.
they being I guess HBO
Quirky.
prestige channels, they really abandoned that programming. And
Well,
I guess
'cause
maybe
they did.
porn's on your
internet
phone
porn.
now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But I mean, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like there was like a novelty to it.
I think
you know?
kids should
Yeah.
have to suffer.
Yeah,
Like, I think the work we put in, the
We put
things
in
we
work.
watched just
we
trying
paused
to.
those VHSs
Yes.
for a reason. Okay,
Yeah,
we
I
put in
watched
work.
seasons of Queer as Folk, trying to watch the like three scenes a season that were titillating.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah,
the
yeah.
timing just right when Michael Vartan jumps out of the bed in 1 hour photo.
Yes.
I'm ashamed to admit how many times I paused watching Wild Wild West when Will Smith
Comes
His
out
butt.
of the
comes out of the
Yeah.
and then apparently you can like see a little bit of his balls allegedly, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is
Which
incredible.
it's probably just a brown modesty
100%.
garment.
It's not.
Yeah.
But
his
people
balls.
are like, it's his balls.
Yeah. And don't even get me started
Also-
on Starship Troopers.
You know who the woman in the
sorry, I'm.
You know, the woman in the water tower in Wild Wild West is Garcelle
Tandy.
Beauvais from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Her most famous role?
Oh,
No, she's in the Jamie Foxx show.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
yes,
the female
duh.
lead in the
Yes,
Jamie
yes,
Foxx
yes,
sitcom.
yes,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
I was
she's-
thinking on screen, like big screen.
She's also Vulture's wife in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So check your knowledge, Jesse. But
Sorry.
yes,
Sorry.
what's the things that they were doing in Starship Troopers were
Dude.
important.
They're
Dude,
very important.
that movie's incredible. I think
and Rue McClanahan was in there as the science teacher. I was like, this has Casper Van
Everything.
Dien booty and
Yes.
one of the Golden Girls. This is my
Yes.
jam.
she
Yeah.
has a glass eye in that movie, or she has some sort of
I
like
think there's goggles on.
she's
like
I think she's got some
Yeah.
sort of like interesting thing happening. But
yeah.
that's a great movie. Starship Troopers mentioned.
I'm just searching her for Starship Troopers to get.
And I
Yes.
just saw Casper Van Dien at Sinister Creature Con
Really?
last June as well. Yeah. Or
Did you-
June, year before last.
Did you say anything where you like, I'm a big fan of your body?
I think he knew. I think I
Yeah.
conveyed it. I am such a like when I meet people at the conventions, I try to be so respectful to their time because
Yep.
like I'm a super fan, but I also know you're meeting 1,000 people in an hour and it's exhausting, and they're all so sweet. Like everyone that they've brought up to Sinister Creature Con, like Tim and Brian, they're everyone they brought up, they're the sweetest people.
Yeah.
And when you're in drag too, sometimes that kind of like they want to talk to you a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like I'm so like, I love you, thank you. I take
Yeah.
my picture and I go, and sometimes they're like, wait, like
Yeah.
Devin Sawa actually followed me on Instagram.
Oh.
But I tell myself it's because like he came up and he kind of was like shocked that I was so like kind of brief, but I was just like, oh, just great,
Yeah.
thank you. And he was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's it.
He was like,
and because
she
everybody
was
else
so
asking-
respectful of my time. I'm going to follow her on Instagram.
Maybe I don't know if that was it, but that's what I'm telling myself, and
Oh my
I'm such a huge
God.
fan. But like, so many of the people are so like we were in line to meet Rachel True, and like Farouza's right next to her, And Rachel True, we were like a ways back in the line because this is like the first time we went, so it was before we were actually working with the team.
Yeah.
And we were in the line, and Rachel, this man's in front of her, and she's like, "Sir, I am so sorry." She's like, I'm gonna come right back to you, but there are drag queens in my line, and I need to go and say hi to them
Oh my
really
God.
quick. And she ran up. She's like, "I just want to let you know I love you, and I can't wait for you to get to the front of the line." And it was really,
That's
really
so
fun.
sweet. And also
Yeah.
like a weight probably off your shoulders because what you were saying about like being conscious of people's times and like not having to, like they want to see you too. And that's like really nice to think.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing. When I saw Casper, I was just like, God, I have watched this man.
What
I
a
have thoughts about you.
I've watched bad movies for this man,
Yes.
Yeah.
like this vampire flick he did. But I was just like, I'm just gonna let. I'm just like, I'm here. You're gorgeous. But they tried to get us last year because they had like Sean Roberts at the convention. Devin. They had
some awakenings there.
my partner and I, we are monogamous, but like we still appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to
outside influences.
Yeah,
I just want to objectify for a second. Devin has aged like a fine goddamn wine. He looks
beautiful.
Him in Heart
just
eyes. Then also all of his Chucky characters. But especially
really hot at Chucky.
Chucky Priest, the priest in Chucky.
Priest.
Yes.
There is something about a hot priest that always, as someone who grew up Catholic, does a thing to me. So seeing Devin Sawa as a priest was very
Fleabag
reaffirming of some long held feelings.
I need you to be friends with my drag daughter. Like, I'm not kidding at all. You and Rosie, and she's gonna kill me for saying this.
What's her handle? I'm following her now.
It's Rosie Petals.
She's a lapsed Catholic. Is that what you're gonna say?
She's from Mayo, Ireland, and she hates when I tell this, and I don't even know if this is appropriate. And you have to cut this out for your podcast, I respect that. But she's so quirky too, and she'll drink, and like she's like, well, whiskey makes me frisky, and she'll start saying like outlandish things. But I remember her saying, she's like, well, I just remember thinking as a child that I wasn't cute because there was all this stuff in the news, but the priest never touched me, and I just felt like, she's like, was I not cute or something? I was like, girl. And she hates when I tell that story, but I just remember her telling me that and just cackling. I was like, this is she's
like, I just wanted to be included, and you're like, well, there are better ways.
She's a whack job, but I love her. I truly do.
It is funny. County Mayo in Ireland is where my family's from. Like,
you're related to her.
Yeah,
yeah. Can you imagine?
You guys are drag family. We're just sisters.
Yeah, no, literally. She's like, well, we're all technically related, in that area. So yeah.
Okay.
I always speak in her voice. I can't help myself.
That was a good Irish, Scottish,
Irish, yeah.
Irish accent.
Yeah, thank you.
Stuart, wait, I've never heard an Irish accent from you.
I'm not Irish.
I'm Scottish. Welsh?
No, I'm Irish of descent, but I didn't grow up in Ireland.
I know, but I was getting at, I want to hear you attempt an Irish.
Top of the morning to you. Like, we're not at leprechaun season yet, so I can't pull up my full leprechaun impression. But
that's fair.
I'm
gonna hop Friday the 13th.
I'm like, where are we? Everyone's dancing.
Yes, horny.
Paul starts to dance with Twin.
Yes,
and Sam does not like Paul dancing with Twin, so she's like, I'm gonna go swimming. And so she goes and takes her clothes off. She did get hypothermia from this because they filmed it in December. And she was in the water the whole night.
Yikes.
So she was sick for weeks after this. But
and it was actually Jason, like the actor playing Jason, who had to tell them, like, get her out of this water.
He threatened to quit the movie if they didn't let her warm up and get out of the water.
Whoa.
Ted White. He hated Corey Feldman, but I guess he was beyond that pretty, because he was older. He was like 50 when he played Jason.
Okay.
And I think he just sort of, because it was a paycheck role, and I think it's a paycheck role, but I think in my book the best Jason we've had so far, because he does bring some characterizations behind the mask, where it's some grunting and the sort of physicality that he brings to it is much more character than just sort of like lumbering hick in the woods. But I guess on set he was really like aware of he was a lot more experienced acting than most of the kids on set, so he was very like, speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
Like we need to let this 18-year-old girl who's naked in December in the Hollywood Reservoir get out of the water occasionally.
We need to let her not die.
Let's not kill her. But they do. The character dies.
Correct.
As they do. And this is a really good. The raft stab is just great. It's just
agreed.
Really good. Paul then follows her, and he gets shot in the nuts, stabbed in the nuts, and then shot. Yeah, it's like
double
it's like a harpoon that then goes off, and it's not on my list of ways to go.
No, but he definitely deserved it for playing girl with the twin,
dancing with twin instead of Sam. One of the twins. One of the twins, Terry or Tina.
Yes.
And then we now get Tina and Jimmy go upstairs to have sex, while the rest of them are watching old porn, retro erotica. And Terry, who is the other twin, wants to leave because she's tired of Ted hitting on her.
Yeah. She's pissed.
And then Tina's like, we'll go. Like, I'm having sex, so you can leave. And then Terry goes outside and is immediately killed.
It's like, where did she think she was going to go? Like, why don't
I don't know.
like,
It's raining too.
It's raining.
Just go downstairs. Like, go to a couch. I don't know.
I think she just didn't want to be near Ted.
Her feelings are valid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is it worth going in the rain and staying in the rain for an inordinate amount of time? Maybe, actually.
I think she just is tired of Ted asking if she wants to kiss his teddy bear.
Yeah. She does. Yeah, there is like, they have it. Yeah, that's,
Yeah. And she knew who her sister was. She was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to wait for this girl.
No.
She's like, I'm out.
She's like, again, bitch.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Mrs. Jarvis, who this is the second time in the movie. I think she's jogging, but it's a night jog. A night rain jog.
She's got to get her steps in.
Yeah, it was the Jane Fonda aerobics era.
Yes.
Like everyone was working out back then.
Yes.
That was a strong era.
Yeah. But the power is out in her house.
Yes.
So something I just wrote, something off camera gets her, because she does die off camera.
Yeah, her death was anticlimactic, I think.
It is always
it is cinematic, right? Because it's like we see it in sort of a shadow.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool on the wall, but like, I don't know, I think she's a prominent enough character that we should have got some sort of like look at the murder.
And it's always interesting who they decide to kill off camera and who they decide to kill on camera. And I always wonder if maybe they ran out of time.
Do you think it's because she was that might be the case, but she is a sympathetic character. She's nice. She's older. And so maybe there's some sort of like moral obligation to like not murder her as badly as the other characters.
And there is a deleted scene that shows what happens to her. She ends up in a bathtub. And this movie was going to end with another Jason hallucination that was at the bathtub when Trish finds her mom dead. And it's available online. But I see why they cut it. It's not as rewarding as Mrs. Voorhees coming out of the water, or like all the different endings we've had previously. That makes sense,
because is she the first like mother in the character? So that would make sense if they were trying to do something there of like him having a weird assation with taking a mother from
and then putting her in the bathtub is sort of like where his mom ended up.
Oh wow.
But I think they just I think it probably the dots were connected on the page, but once they got it in the movie, they're like, this doesn't actually read like anything.
And so like you said, they did a quick edit.
Yeah. So they were sort of moving and had to do it as they could do it. And if something wasn't working, they just got rid of it.
Yeah.
They make up for it with what's her name? Also Tina? The telekinesis.
Yes.
Tina they
Kinesis.
they make up with Tina Kinesis's mother in that film. At that point, he doesn't care.
Part
Wait,
7.
Part 7. Okay.
7.
Friday
so
the 13th, Part 7.
Part 7.
The New
Okay.
Beginning?
The
I
New
was gonna say, what's the-
Beginning.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's essentially Carrie versus Jason.
Yeah, and I actually
It's
do enjoy that film. I do enjoy
Okay.
that film, but I just remember I don't know why. I think I just love the cattiness of some of the characters because the teens were just
Melissa with that bob.
Yeah. And it was kind of a very similar setup to this film because it was the family and then the teen party.
Yeah.
Group. Yeah.
But there's no child. It's just
there's no child.
A woman, her mom, and her therapist.
Yeah. And then her flashbacks to her being a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so we
our
get some
little
childhood trauma happening.
Yeah, but
and then
in
they
retrospect.
Telekinesis.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
Telekinesis.
Little did we know that would be the least crazy thing.
Do you guys think calling this movie the final chapter was purely for marketing purposes?
The Mancusos were originally done.
Okay.
They were sort of Frank Mancuso Jr., whose dad was the head of Paramount, was shepherding the franchise at this point.
Okay.
And he wanted to move on to different movies. But they were originally going to kill him in a lot more final way. At one point, they were going to explode his head. They were going to chop off his head. And they ended up with what they ended up with because the studio and the Mancusos were sort of okay, we're going to make more of these. So let's not paint ourselves in too much of a corner. But they'd already announced that it was the final chapter, and it's a good marketing ploy.
It is,
to get people in. And I mean, this movie made $30 million on a $2 million budget.
Yeah, because it was supposed to end with the third one, but they never marketed it as a final film.
Yeah.
So then they were well, let's just, Paramount wanted to do away with it, but then they made so much money that they were well.
Yeah, because the Friday the 13th franchise was kind of the redheaded stepchild of Paramount because it was keeping the lights on, but they were kind of embarrassed of it. Whereas if you look at New Line Cinema and Nightmare on Elm Street, that was a studio that their entire brand at that point was Nightmare on Elm Street. So they were able to sort of be not as embarrassed of all of our Nightmare on Elm Street's keeping our lights on. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Whereas Paramount was such a storied studio that they wanted to be making more prestige stuff. But then at the time, what was making the money was this.
Yeah.
Well, and then to have them, one of the issues is all the pushback they got from parents and how it wasn't appropriate for kids. And then this whole final chapter is essentially about the loss of innocence for, Corey Feldman's character in so many different ways. So
yeah.
And this one does feel like the last one where there is good gore. Because the MPAA really started locking down on that after this one. Because 5 is so tame. And I mean, 5 has a lot of sex, but it's the gore is just cut off.
Yeah. Interesting. It's just so funny that this is called the final chapter, and yet there's
8 more.
20 more.
The final
series
chapter
on the way.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense from a marketing standpoint. It's all been leading to this. How many of those have we gotten?
Well, I mean, Scream 7, I saw that IMAX trailer that said it was the last Scream. But they're just trying to trick people into, and it worked. But okay, where are we? Something off camera happens. Tommy and Trish return home, and the power is still out. And then Trish goes to Rob. There's a lot of we're with Tommy, and then we leave Tommy alone, and then we're back with Tommy, and then we leave Tommy alone.
Yeah, he disappears for a while.
Yeah. But she goes to Rob's tent, and he slices through his own tent with a machete, scaring her.
Also, where did this machete come from?
I think when you're camping in Crystal Lake, you just bring a machete because you never know when Jason's going to lose his.
Yeah.
So it's just polite to have one with you in case he needs it.
To give it to him or kill him.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
How did his sister die? If it was from the machete, that would have been so shady.
She is...
she's impaled when they're...
She's the double,
The double, The My Bloody Valentine kill,
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's right.
So we now get... we have a sex report card. Jimmy is not a dead fuck. Tina is very pleased with his performance.
I don't think her standards are that.
Do you,
Yeah.
okay, for either of you, did it feel like the twins were dubbed?
Yeah, actually,
Maybe.
it
This
had
was-
that old Hollywood
Yeah,
feel to it.
Okay.
When they would talk.
because the actresses are British, and the
Oh.
voices sound sort of British, but I
Okay.
think I think it's probably their voices, but I think they maybe in person recorded it more British, and then they brought them in to re-record their dialogue less British.
Okay.
They would have to explain that
yeah.
if they did. Yeah, that
But
makes sense.
They should just make
there's
them
just
British.
there's an otherworldly to some of their dialogue. It feels very like it's
Stiff.
coming out of their mouth, but is it?
Yeah. I didn't notice that only because the quality of the what I watched it on was not great.
Tubi?
But I believe that.
Pluto
I
TV?
believe that. No, I just Googled Watch Friday the 13th Part 4 free online and found a link.
I was
watched
watching.
it. I just got my little.
Ooh.
I was watching my Scream Factory Blu-ray.
Okay.
Yes.
I do have that for the
Collection.
4 DVD set.
Yeah.
It was, when we were talking about Halloween earlier, I was like, I've owned these movies in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have so many different. I'm just like, this is kind of like, it's a problem, but it's not a problem.
I mean, it's a hobby, you know?
This is
it's
my
a hobby.
It's a
my
hobby.
Halloween
It's a hobby.
stack.
Yes. Oh man.
And that's not including DVDs, which I do have somewhere.
And see, now I got to do one of those like for Resurrection. I need to do one of those like America's Next Top Model reels.
You want to?
Yes, you
as
do.
Tyra.
Yes, you do.
should do when you told Tyra your mom was killed by a latte machine,
Yeah.
and then you're modeling with the latte machine dressed up like Tyra.
Or it's just a pool of blood, like how they did it when they actually showed it ultimately with us.
Yes.
Because she was another off-screen kill that they recorded, but then didn't actually play it.
Oh,
Like in the
right.
thing, she's just hanging in the shed, which was also
Yeah.
foul.
Yeah. I really like to think that Tyra's lattes situation in that movie inspired her Smize ice cream journey today.
Yes.
So that's all I have to say.
Very that. Yes.
God, Tyra's
okay.
really going through it right now.
So Tina.
Enough Tyra.
Tina the twin.
Tina. Yeah.
But also Tyra could have been a twin.
True.
She gets pulled out of the window. Which I love. There's a lot of windows in this movie. There are 3 different window stunts in this movie.
And they're all pretty good.
Including a dog.
Yeah.
But at this time also Crispin Glover's Jimmy goes downstairs, gives his friend the girl's underwear, and then they decide that they're going to drink alcohol to celebrate that he's not bad in bed.
A reason to drink?
This is gay, I'm saying it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's 2 closeted gay men who are secretly in love with each other, convincing themselves that they should have sex with women, but only in a way that they can tell the guy about their sex they had with a woman. That feels gay.
I mean, listen, I'm flashing back to the skinny dipping part, and he said, "Get your clothes off. Get in here." To Crispin Glover, he said,
he wanted to see him dance like the silly dance naked.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking good.
Yeah. But Crispin Glover goes and can't find the corkscrew. And he gets corkscrewed through the hand. I keep seeing Jason behind you and getting a little scared.
Ava, look out.
Watch out. And then he gets cleavered in the face too.
Yeah.
Good death.
Which is worse, getting corkscrewed through the hand or cleavered in the face?
Leave it in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
would
want
hate to
either.
I don't want either, but I just feel like one, I could probably survive and not be like salty. You could survive even the cleaver to the face, to be completely honest, but I wouldn't want to.
No,
take me out now.
Just take me down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was a dumb question. I'm sorry.
I wrote Sarah and Doug ? Are in the shower. Because Doug is the character that has no traits.
Yeah, he's hot, but that's it.
And I just wrote Ted is gooning to retro erotica.
Ted is Ava, you're so right.
He was
Ted
the
is
original Gooner.
my toxic trait as well. Ted is my type.
Yeah,
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, and see, if it was one of those things like in a victim stance, like, oh, he's gonna die. That's not the situation. In a horror movie, like or another horror movie where it's like a killer. If I'm ever attracted to someone, they haven't really like revealed the killer already. I'm like, it's whoever I'm attracted to. That's the killer.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that says for Avery, but
that's like your version of how Roger Ebert was like the most famous person in any horror movie is likely the killer. That's like you're like. If I'm attracted to you, then you're probably
the current slasher movies. The most famous white person is usually the killer.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's fair.
I'm trying to think.
Like Dermot Mulroney in Scream 6, Jordana Brewster in Hard Eyes. And honestly,
it's like
hers is a win for representation because it's usually the man. But a woman.
I actually really like the reveal.
I think we all expected Devin to some degree, but then they flipped it, and that's the thing. I've not watched Scream 7 yet, so I can't spoil anything. But I'm just one of those people where I'm also like, if I see Anna Camp in anything, I'm like, she's gonna be psychotic. I'm like, if you watched her in True Blood or Hysteria or any of these movies, I'm like, they're not going to waste Anna Camp.
I know. I know.
Pitch Perfect.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
honestly,
there's no way she's just a neighbor.
Performance is Pitch Perfect.
I'm like, there's no way she's just a neighbor.
Yeah. Her True Blood character.
I haven't watched it yet, but that True Blood character was
so good. Yeah,
she was. Her and Jason, but
is she Reverend Newland's wife in that?
Yeah.
I didn't make it too far in True Blood.
That's probably fine. It goes off the rails.
I got to fairies, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
It gets wonky.
Yeah,
I was attracted to one of the fairies though, so I wasn't.
Oh yeah,
he was only in like the one like small arc, and then he was gone. And
I mean, I feel like after season 3 or 4 to that point, like they really just coasted on how hot the cast was.
Yeah,
they were like,
and that's all you need to do.
That's true, but seasons 1 and 2 are so good.
They're so good.
They're so good. Season 2 with the Maynard.
Yes.
Oh my god!
And Kristen Bauer was just at Sinister Creature Con as well.
Oh,
she was right across from Heather Matarazzo.
Get out of
Oh, they looked phenomenal. They both
That's
looked
a gay
phenomenal.
corner.
That was the gay corner, and they were both. My friend Ashley. It was just her birthday yesterday. She has a hairless cat named Freya. And like Freya was getting passed back and forth between Kristen Bauer and Heather Matarazzo because Heather Matarazzo was like, bring that cat back around to me, okay? And you just like, there's a picture of Heather just like holding and petting their cat.
I feel like a hairless cat, like Heather Matarazzo holding a hairless cat is like a biblical image. Like there's some sort of like
it brings you back to Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yes, which I've actually never seen, but I almost put on the other day. But I don't. Todd Solondz is like a very like I'm like I got to be in the mood.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fair.
Like happiness is like
that's how I am with Greg Araki movies. I really like them, but I can't always take them on.
Right.
But sometimes I think I can, and then I can't.
Yeah, I love them, but they are you have to really be
in the mood
in that zone.
But Doom Generation, Rose McGowan, important. And it's her and what's his name, that guy. And they're just hot.
Oh yeah, Duvall.
Yeah. Not Robert Duvall. James Duvall.
James Duvall. Yeah. R.I.P. No, yeah. And the thing is, like, Rose McGowan. I'm not going to get into like what her political stances are, her journey. But I love me some Rose McGowan. I really do.
She's iconic.
I have sort of gotten like
Devil in the Flesh.
She's just like I'm gotten a little bit better about like holding people in amber. And just sort of being like, I don't know, like 90s Rose McGowan is important to me, and
so important.
Modern Rose McGowan, like I can hold the two truths.
We're always talking about separating the art from the artist,
and I can't always do it. There's some people I don't fuck with anymore.
Absolutely,
but it is just like sometimes it's just for me I'm trying to get better about just being like, I just don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like,
absolutely.
Like Rose McGowan, like between Charmed and Scream and like all of those performances, like I would be cutting myself off from a lot of stuff that's really important to me.
Absolutely.
And just like preserving that in amber and then just letting
Yeah.
what's happening now not affect me as much.
Yeah.
No,
For some people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she's just such a cheerleader for people online too, though.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. Like any fans, like she truly loves her fans so much, and it's just a beautiful thing. And like
Yeah.
Darren Stein and I, we follow each other on Instagram as well, and just like all the stuff whenever they post, like just you'd see the love for all like the
Yeah.
group of people, and it's just I love it.
Aw.
It is so cool because it's like I do all my posts on Gay Horror Club. I get really niche as much as possible, and it's so cool to see what random movies just the meme travels. And like Jawbreaker memes, I post like once every few weeks. I put a Jawbreaker in there because people fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a very memeable movie.
It is, and I know I was telling somebody, I was like, that is horror. It's real life
Yeah.
horror. It's teen horror. It's so good, and I think that's like one of the things. Whenever you do those memes, I like it's you and the Killer Fox. When
Yes.
y'all do those, I get stressed out because you want to post, but I'm like, oh shit! Like each one I slide, I'm like, I relate to all of these.
Yeah.
They're all so good,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't post all.
There are people because I can see all the reposts, and there are people who repost all 8 of them.
Each and every one.
I'm like, that was a slam dunk.
yes.
I guess we should finish Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we're in the
we're shower death. Ted's gooning. He's stabbed through a screen. And then we get Sarah. So this was intentional. Sarah and Doug are having sex in the shower, and she leaves Doug alone in the shower because they wanted to do the reverse of letting a guy die in a shower for once.
Yes.
So he gets his head slammed into the tile wall.
It's good,
which is really good.
Yeah.
And then what happens to her?
Well, his head. She walks into the bathroom, and his head is on the shower or like in the
just
the
hanging
glass.
out of the glass.
It's great. Yeah. And then she
runs out of the house, and through the door, he throws an axe at her.
Yeah. God, I love an axe throw. Good. I love a weapon throw.
Yeah,
in these movies.
I like an axe. I feel like Jason, especially later, gets very like machete. But I'm like, I like when he's playing around.
Yeah, I feel like he plays around a good amount in the remake. I feel like there's some axe throwing in the remake.
There's always like one of those like pokey things with the 3 things.
Yes,
like a trident, but I know there's a real term for it. It's like a hay thing.
I think that is a trident. Pokey things with the 3 things.
Yeah, but I think
the
there's
pitchfork.
Pitchfork. Yeah,
I was like, I think it's legally a trident.
Yes,
but there is a more practical term for it. I think pitchfork is the term I was looking for.
I think I think a trident is a more like ostentatious version of a pitchfork. Yeah.
But it's a geography situation.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I feel like if it's a pokey thing with 3 things, it is a trident. But if it's also a piece of farm equipment, it's a trident that's also a pitchfork.
Wait, I feel like a pitchfork has 4 things. Let me Google. Oh my god.
Some of them do, but some do have 3.
Okay, yeah. I need to look into this. Let me.
You look into that.
I'm gonna make a note today.
Yeah.
Dive into pitchforks.
So we're now Rob and Trish go back finding Tommy, and the lights are just randomly on.
Mm-hmm.
No explanation.
Being previously off, right?
Yeah, they were off. And they again leave him alone to go check on the teens across the way. Bringing the dog, which doesn't feel safe. But Rob goes into the basement. And then the dog just gets scared and jumps out of a window, which I love.
Probably a good move. Yeah. Probably for the best.
But this movie is really committed to people jumping out of windows.
It's the drinking game.
Yeah.
Wait,
take a shot every time someone goes out of a window.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, is that an actual game where you're supposed to jump out of a window after you take a shot?
Yes. You first.
Yeah. Also can happen.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure someone somewhere has done that. But yeah, there's a lot of window deaths in this one.
Rob gets killed in the basement, but kind of off screen, and he just keeps saying, "He's killing me." Which I love. That one feels like they did run out of time or money, and we're just like, sell it.
Yes.
We're gonna have you in a dark room, and then we're gonna leave. Yeah. Just scream, "He's killing me" 4 times, and we'll know what's happening.
Well, Rob was supposed to be. I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I think it was just supposed to be like a funny nod because they got a kick out of there was like an actual report of a man who was getting murdered and was screaming that he was being murdered, and they thought it was funny, so they threw.
Oh my god.
I like when art
Yeah.
imitates life.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So she jumps out of the window.
Doesn't she go
Trish.
back in the basement though? She's like
She goes into the
Rob
basement
dies and then she's
while-
like coming back for you.
And goes down.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of her running back and forth between these two houses.
She's getting her steps in.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they're a fitness family.
They're joggers.
They're
Yeah,
joggers, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yes.
And then she jumps out of a window and runs back to the house. And then Jason throws Rob through the window at them. Jason loves to throw a guy through a window.
Yeah.
And then he grabs Tommy through another window. And they did not tell Corey Feldman what was going to happen. So his reaction,
literally.
his reaction to this was real, which is
Ooh.
a little Hitchcockian.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that morally?
Not
I
great,
feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
but also whatever it takes to get the performance.
I know. I'm thinking about Ridley. I'm thinking about Ridley Scott keeping the alien chestburster sequence.
Yeah.
From
I do feel
I
like
mean-
when it happens to an adult, I'm a little bit more on board with
forgiving.
it.
Yeah.
Although it
Yeah.
often happens to adults in misogynistic circumstances where they'll tell the
Yeah.
men what's going to happen, but not the women what's going to happen. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alien is in the clear because they only really
Yeah.
told. Well, they told John.
I thought everyone except for Veronica Cartwright knew what was going to happen.
No, I think no one knew except
Okay.
for John. Fucking the chest
John
burster.
Hurt?
Yeah, John Hurt.
Ridley Scott innocent of that. I don't know
It's true.
anything else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't-
Ridley Scott of that specifically innocent. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what other allegations are,
yeah, I
if
haven't,
any.
I haven't dipped into his Wikipedia page in a week. So I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
know
do
what's
that
happening.
after I look at pitchforks.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. They run upstairs. Trish throws a TV on Jason.
Mm?
Yes.
Um,
Stumacher.
And
Yeah, I
then
was gonna say.
yeah, Jason walked so Stumacher could also walk.
Yeah.
And then she jumps out of the window here. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she spent all that time nailing the door, and then he just busts through the door, and then she runs up the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
She must
so she
feel so
jumps out of the
defeated.
window. It's a weird, she's like landing and she's wearing like a men's shirt as a dress. And when she's landing in the mud, it's just panty out.
It's cheap.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this
cheeky.
is a little funny.
Yeah.
But then I just wrote, now Tommy is wearing a wig and
Yes.
cutting off his hair because I guess they wanted to cut his hair for real, but it was this was finishing right before pilot season, so they didn't want to shave his head, which is fair.
Yeah. He's committing. He's also committing to the bit, you know.
But it is like it's wig on bald cap is always like uncanny valley. So his hair is suddenly just big. And he's just cutting this
Yeah.
big head hair off. And then he goes downstairs in full Jason drag.
Yes.
And takes Jason off guard. Jason doesn't have permanence for himself, I think. I think he can see outside, and I think he sees a little kid dressed up like him, and he's like, "Is that me?
Yeah.
Am I not
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
me."
yeah,
Like, is it Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this is clearly someone who's 4'8", but he
Yeah.
looks like me, so maybe
Yeah.
it
It's
could
like
be
this,
me.
Yeah,
It's like, this is my fan club,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
It's like,
I'm,
I
part
don't
of.
want to kill my fans.
Yeah.
But no, going back to, I mentioned at the top of the episode, I thought sort of there was going to be like a mystery element to this, because for a while I thought maybe Jason isn't the killer, like the mask element. And so part of me is like, I wish someone else had like donned a Jason mask that was maybe kind of sort of like designed by Tommy, and the person like stole it from Tommy and was like going around. Maybe Jason's like long lost sibling or something. But anyway, I digress.
You may get that in the future.
We'll find out.
Jesse hasn't seen all the Friday the 13th sequels.
Oh,
I've
So
seen
yeah.
it's like sporadic. I'm
I
like
have to
Jason
operate.
X, Friday
I have
the
to
13th.
operate under assumption of lack of knowledge for Jesse. Although I did just tell you all about Tina, the
Yeah, it's fine.
telekinetic girl.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But that's not a spoiler.
It's
She's
fine.
telekinetic
No,
from
no.
start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Stuart?
Here I am.
I'm kidding.
Spoiling Friday the 13th Part 7.
Yes.
Which we will
Yes.
watch the second Friday the 13th next year.
Yeah, like I said, I think 6 is probably my favorite.
6 is great. They're playing 6. Well, today on the Patreon release, they're playing 6 at the VHS Society, and I'm still thinking about getting tickets.
Ooh.
But it's in Hollywood.
Where in Hollywood?
Sassafras Saloon.
Okay.
They do have they do have deviled eggs there, so I'm like, should I drive to Hollywood and get some deviled eggs and watch Friday?
Those
13th Part
are
6?
hard to find in the
It's a
City
good
of
combo.
Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of deviled eggs,
I love that.
Trish stabs
your
through
best.
Jason's hand. I eat deviled eggs with my hands, Jesse.
You know,
sure,
the
yeah.
deviled
Yeah.
egg does make sense for like Jason's face
Yes.
and
Yeah.
for Corey's hair
There you
now.
go. There you go, Ava.
Yeah.
I do love the like cut through hand prosthetic. Oh, she's got a face.
Oh my
There's a
God.
face.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's
We
scary.
have to up our game.
I know.
Yeah. I don't have.
Just buy mannequins
Yeah.
instead of getting like animatronics because they're more expensive. Buy mannequins. I have 2 mannequins. I have Ghostface over here, but
Okay.
I interchanged them. My mother lives with me. I'm my mother's caregiver, and I had Art the Clown and the Nun up, and she was just like, "Look here."
No.
No.
She's like, "You can put Jason, you can put Michael Myers. I don't care. I just don't want to see the Nun. I don't want to see Art the Clown." And I was just like,
yeah.
Yeah.
fair.
Art the
I
Clown
picked
is
them up.
terrifying.
Yeah, because they're in
That's-
my garage.
No.
If you open the door in the middle of the night, you're just one of them.
Yeah.
What
you know.
That's the scariest place to put them.
Yeah,
Keep
but it's a
Alec
cheaper
out of
way
the
to do it
house.
because
Yeah.
but it's a cheaper way to do it because you could just interchange the costumes
Smart.
Yeah.
onto them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And
the
they're
mannequin.
presumably they're life size, right? You're buying life
Yes.
size mannequins. Okay. Wow.
Thrifting.
Just like Tyra Banks in the movie Life Size. She's a
Life
doll, not a
size.
mannequin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jason's great no matter where he goes.
Yes. Clip that.
The
Yes.
the remix for Life Size 2 of that song was on my top 10 songs of the year it came out, and I've never seen the second Life Size movie.
It's a horrible movie, but the song was
the song was a banger.
Yeah, the song
We
was
had
Yeah.
Tyra
banger.
rapping. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is a musical icon, and I think we need to talk
She
about
is.
that.
Shake
yeah.
your
We need
body,
to talk
body,
about
move your
Hot
body, body.
Ice Cream, Halloween Resurrection, and
Life Size
her
2.
rapping.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
So they stab Jason through the head. He falls on the machete first.
Mhm.
And then Tommy and Trish are hugging, and then Jason starts to move, and then Tommy whacks him like 10 times slow motion.
yeah.
Double tap.
And then Trish is screaming, and then we sort of melt into the hospital where the doctor is telling Trish, like, I don't think he's ever going to be normal.
I feel like this movie is a big, good representation of for killers or people hacking. There's a lot of hacking in this movie. People hacking Jason. People Jason hacking people. There's more hacking than
Yeah. There
I
was
feel like a
definitely
lot
some
of-
hacking
A lot of horror
happening in
movies
that. Yeah.
have some hacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of hacking in this.
There was
That's all.
other kinds of hacking happening too, especially in that pond, you know.
They're hacking.
Hacking.
We end on a freeze frame of Tommy looking menacing.
Yeah, they're like Tommy could be crazy,
Yeah.
and then we end on Tommy's face being crazy.
This is the beginning of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Okay.
So we will see 3 different actors playing 3 different Tommy Jarvises over the course of 3 movies.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we're
In your opinion, who? Sorry, just for clarity, are they all? You said 3 different actors. Who is the best actor to portray
Corey.
Tommy Jarvis?
Corey, but then
Corey?
the 1 and 6 is so hot.
He yes.
Okay,
Yes.
And then
that's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like
yeah.
the 2 Tommies can be both true at the same time.
Yes.
yeah.
The middle
They-
Tommy doesn't register for me. I know he's there. He's just not Corey Feldman and not hot. So he's
Okay.
hot. He's not unhot. He's just
Okay.
like not as hot as
Right.
part 6 is Tommy Jarvis is.
Okay, good to
Also,
know.
just part 6 is a better movie.
Right.
So it's just like you're sort of he's operating on different frequencies.
Yeah. Got
and
it.
that was Friday the 13th part 4.
The final chapter.
The final chapter.
The final one.
The alleged final chapter.
Yes.
The alleged final
we will
chapter.
never talk about another Friday the 13th movie because they didn't make any more.
They didn't make any more.
Yeah, they just said 4 and done. And
4.
honestly, we're proud of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're proud of them. 40 years later.
Thanks so much for joining us, Ava. Remind everyone where they can find you online.
Thank you so much for having me. You can find me online at Ava LaShay or at Screams and Queens.
Yes.
On Insta.
Yeah.
Thank you,
and
Ava.
Next week we'll be back starting our Alfred Hitchcock double feature month, Season of the Hitch. Next week we will be talking about Rear Window. So stick with us. We have a
More
fun
windows
guest for that.
More window
windows.
content.
We said Friday the 13th Part 4. We're going to up you. There will be more windows in the next movie.
Rear Window.
Thanks so much again for joining us, Ava.
Thanks, Ava.
We'll see
so
everyone
much.
next week.
Thank you.
Bye. This podcast has been presented and produced by Stuart Ross and Jesse Tappett. Edited by Stuart Ross. All recording equipment provided by Photo Booth Productions. To support our podcast, join us at patreon.com/anothergayhorrorpod.